Hello, my name is Chris Wilson. I'd like to welcome you to our website. I'm part of a group of like-minded entrepreneurs, business owners, and employees who have been successful in their own disciplines. And together we're working on a business project to develop leveraged income alongside of the incomes they've already currently developed in their own industries. But more importantly, we're developing residual income. See, our philosophy is to build a business one time that'll pay us residual income for a long time. And I don't know what your goals are. I don't know how you generate your income currently. But with this new economy, so many people who have been successful in many other disciplines are looking for long-term stability. And I know that many of these people are really attracted to residual income because they could be successful at their current disciplines, but they still trade their time or expertise for money. And time is something that you just can't buy back. So when a business owner or entrepreneur or a successful employee has an opportunity to develop something one time with their current skills, but to develop an income stream that continues to pay on an ongoing basis, it really puts them in a position to generate some great things. Now I know there's three types of people that are probably watching this video. The first group of people are people what I like to call in the E quadrant. These are employees. These are people that are successful in their disciplines. They could be a lawyer that works for a very successful firm, or a doctor that works for a large corporation. They make great money. They live a great life as far as they have a big house, they have cars, they go on vacations to the destinations that they want, but they find that they have very limited time freedom. They're really owned by that firm or by that large corporation, or they can be a salesperson for a large corporation. They just don't have the time. They don't have that freedom of being able to do what they want when they want. And then we have the second group of individuals that are really in what we call the S quadrant. These are solo business owners. These are people that didn't want to be an employee because they wanted to have the freedom. And as they started to build their business and became more successful, they found that their time became that much more demanding from the business. In fact, they might generate great income, but what happens is they are owned by their business. They have to be there. They run their business. They can't trust their business with anyone else. And what that happens is over time, it becomes very stressful. And now they want to trade that money for more time freedom to be able to do what they want. And then we have the third category of people who are watching this, and they're people in the B quadrant. These are people who own big businesses, but more importantly, that they structured their business with putting the best people together possible to run their business. So they can really generate the income that they want, they can do what they want, and their business continues to grow. Now, why would they be watching this video? Because those type of individuals are always looking for other avenues to where they can build something one time. They understand leveraging techniques that will pay them over and over and over again. They can just take the same discipline and same skills, just apply it to a different industry and generate even more income when they don't have to babysit a business. So there are the three different types of people that are watching this video. I don't know what groups you fall into, but right now what I like to do is introduce you to a New York Times best-selling author for years who's sold over 20 million books. Books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Loopholes of the Rich, The Cash Flow Quadrants, and that's right, his name is Robert Kiyosaki. I'd like to introduce you to Robert so he can explain a little bit about the quadrants and a little bit about where many people are in life and where they want to be in order to generate income, to generate residual leveraged income.
The story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is really a story of two different fathers with two different sets of values and completely different sets of advice. So I don't mean to insult anybody or, to damage your values, but really that was the difference. For example, my poor dad always said, go to school, get good grades, get a high-paying job, work hard, live below your means, save money, get out of debt, have a good retirement plan. And that was my poor dad's values. My rich dad said, you probably won't get rich doing that way because very few people get rich following that plan. A very important diagram my rich dad showed me when I was a little boy was a diagram known as a cash flow quadrant. And the quadrant is made up of the four different people who make up the world of business. So my rich dad said, in the world of business, there's E's. And E's stand for employees. An employee, he says, you can always tell who they are by their core values. And what the employee, whether the president or the janitor of the company, will always say the same words. The words are, I'm looking for a safe, secure job with benefits. That's what makes them an employee, because their core values are security. The other one of the four is the S, or the small business owner or the self-employed. And again, their core values will cause them to use the same words, which are, if you want it done right, do it by yourself. S means they're also solo. They're generally one-person act, or they operate by themselves. On the right side of the quadrant are the B's. And what Rich Dad said the B stood for was big business, or like Bill Gates. Forbes defines big business as 500 employees or more. And their words are different. They say, I'm looking for a good system, a good network, and the smartest people I know to help run my business. So they're unlike the S. They don't want to run the company by themselves. They want smart people to run their companies for them. And then the fourth of the quadrant is the I, and I stands for investor. These are people who have money work hard for them. These people are people who have people work hard for them. And these are the people that work hard for the rich here. So early on in my life, it was my poor dad who always said to me, you know, Robert, go to school so you get a high-paying job. And so my poor dad's core value was to be an employee. He wanted job security, promotions, a steady paycheck, and all this. And so it was my rich dad who said to me, he says, you know, Robert, if you really want to be rich, learn to build businesses. It made more sense to him to work hard to build a business, something you owned, and something you could pass on for generation to generation to your kids. Whereas my poor dad said work hard, but my rich dad said, why would you work hard for something you'll never own and you can get fired from right away? Again, that was the difference in values. So my rich dad suggested I learn how to be a business owner and learn how to be an investor. And that's one of the big differences. On this side of the quadrant, these people here work for security. They work for money also. On this side over here, their key value that they want is they want freedom. They don't want to have to work at a job anymore. They don't want to have to work for the rest of their lives. So the beauty of building a business and learning how to invest is very simply that this is passive income. You work hard for a few years, but possibly for the rest of your life, income keeps flowing to you. For people who want to make the shift over to the B quadrant, which is what I would recommend for people, one of the beauties of a network marketing company is that you can do that for a very low price. And that's why I talk to people about considering network marketing. If you're to build a Microsoft, it would take you hundreds of millions of dollars. But a network marketing company allows you to start at a very low rate. They'll be patient with you. They'll take their time to transition over here. And the reason why that time is so important to most people is it takes time to change those values. And the most important thing is once you take the time, let's say it takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever time it takes, once you see the value or the core values of this side and this side, you're unstoppable. Today, I would never go back and get a job. Why should I? I'd rather stay on this side, build companies, pay less taxes, and make more money. But the key is a person needs to change the values from my poor dad to the values of my rich dad. And that's one of the beauties of network marketing companies. They allow you the time, and at very low cost, they'll work with you. It's not a get-rich-quick formula. You don't just do it overnight. It takes time. I still remember the first time I made that transition was back in 1978 when I fully quit my job and I had to depend upon my company that I was building to support me. So I understand the fear. The beauty, the most important thing to remember is this. There's two kinds of people in the world. There are the types that will say, you'll never make it. And there was I had a lot of people, a lot of friends and family saying that. You're stupid. Don't do it. And the second type were the people that said, go for it. You can do it. Don't worry about it. We'll cover you. So the most important thing is support of friends and family. One of the beauties of a direct selling company is that they provide that personal support to you for as long as it takes you to make the journey from the left side to my
You know, after watching that video, many people never realize what quadrant they're in and what they actually need to do to get out of the situation they're in, to develop leverage income so they can have that time freedom. See, people in that E quadrant, they think they just have to get a better job, find a better company, get more education. That doesn't solve the problem. They still remain in that E quadrant. And the business owners in the S quadrant, those solo business owners, usually when they see and understand those quadrants, they want to be in that B quadrant. They understand that they don't have a business where it's leveraging themselves, that they don't have to be there and babysit. They might be a restaurant owner. I mean, who do you know who owns a restaurant that's not there, that runs by itself? And if someone does own that, then they have a lot of good B qualities. They've surrounded themselves with better people than themselves to run that business. And that's what we're doing. We're looking for people who want to be in that B quadrant. Maybe maybe they're not there yet, or they don't know how to get there. We want to help them get there. And when they get there, we want to help them to build a successful business so they can have time freedom and they can take some of that money and get into the I quadrant as an investor and let that money work really hard for them. See, we're looking for people who have a desire and people who can follow a simple 5-year business plan. If that interests you, then make sure you watch the next video and we will talk about the industry we're in, what we do, build a specific 5-year business plan after you watch that video. Then it's going to come down, you know, is this a vehicle that you want to create residual income in that you can fit around the discipline that you currently do? But after you watch that video, make sure you get back with the person that directed you to these 2 videos. So, hey, if you want to be part of the like-minded group we're in, then you can help us expand globally and help your business get into several different time zones so you can really leverage and harness the ability and technology that's at our fingertips right now. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, and my name is Chris Wilson.